Success, happiness, and health are hard to quantify. Because what determines your life satisfaction is how you feel inside your own psyche. Yet our understanding of how these feelings work is infantile. Growing up, I noticed in myself that my understanding of feelings was simply to obey them. But this never led me to the inner fortitude that is needed to be a warrior in this world. Instead, I was blindly pulled around like a crazy person, like I had voices in my head demanding an array of different things, and my way of satisfying them was to obey the loudest one. I had that low buzz of anxiety about the future, so I was always chasing money. But then when I would get some, my appetite would start to catch up for me and I'd buy more and more expensive food. Or at night when I would hype myself up about taking great action and succeeding, but then the next morning skipping the alarm. This nonsense left me ineffective. It's that paradox of obeying all the emotions without order. And I see it in others. You will find someone who loves talking about high IQ ideas, about how a society full of people should be run, but they reveal that they absolutely hate spending time with people because people never talk about anything intelligent. Or someone who wants to be respected, but doesn't want to do anything that involves facing their fears and finding their bravery. And this nonsense, this disordered nature of our psyches is quite natural. It's an indication of a society that doesn't know how to educate people in these matters, the matters of emotion. Because all you need to solve this problem is a mental model that helps you look at your emotions, that put them in the right context, so you know what they are. But such models are easy to find. Mythologies perform this function. They give you this colourful array of characters that represent your emotions and help you understand their personality and how you should interact with them. Greek mythology is one of the most excellent examples of this. It did such a great job of representing our emotional drama that it stands out as one of the most popular mythologies around even today. They had names for everything. You had anger as Ares, depression as Algaea, gluttony as Adaphagia, sexual lust as Himeros. And in general, they conceptualized all of our emotions as eros, meaning passion. And so the best way for you to visualize your emotions is a large pagan pantheon of these gods, all in a courtroom. And you've got a weak king sitting there, and he's getting pulled about by them. He has no strength, no power of order. And what we want to do is to empower that king to be able to properly rule his courtroom and have this debaucherous pantheon of energies focus on his goals and empower him. And the mental model that worked for me is to look at this pantheon and say, what we need to do is place in the hands of the king the magical scepter of Logos. Logos is the ability to cast meaning and understand why and what emotions want. Now, it may sound trivial, but trust me, you don't do this as naturally as you think. I would often cock to these urges without examining what they really wanted. Someone might have been getting on my nerves, frustrating me, and I would act on that without really examining what my frustration wanted. And so instead of getting possessed, pushed over, or clamping down with a tyrannical fist that leaves you with no emotion, Logos is the king that sits there and listens to all the ridiculous demands of his sex and food-addicted courtroom and figures out how to organize them so they can go to war and build an empire that will stand the test of time. This empowered king, with his Logos, sees the big picture and gets his courtroom, his pantheon of erotic emotions, to show up well dressed and all aiming in the same direction. And you have never felt power until you felt a united focus within yourself towards a goal you actually believe in. Everything I'm talking about revolves around the idea of having the correct perspective towards your psychology. The Greeks did this naturally. Their mythology was like a giant healthcare system with which they educated all their populace how to deal with their emotions. We have obviously lost this, but you can revitalize it yourself for free just using this perspective. That's all you need to do. It's just a story. Now, if you want to go deeper, I have built a story which will walk you through the cardinal challenges that you will face establishing order over your psyche. I've done this by selecting 5 of the great stories from Greek mythology and showing you what they are trying to tell you about yourself and how best to interpret them. So if you're interested in this, check out the link below.